Hello!
I'm Ellen.
I'm Brian.
Today we'll be doing our dance Q&A.
Woo!
If you haven't watched our other Q&A yet, we highly recommend you to watch it because that one's more about like us, our personal life, our backgrounds, hobbies, whatever. Today's Q&A is all about dancing.
So we divide it into 3 categories.
So the first part is going to be about our process of learning, filming dance covers, all the questions that are related to that. And then the second part is going to be like our thoughts, opinions on stuff. So like, what's your favorite dance style? What was your favorite cover? What was the hardest cover? That kind of stuff. And then the last part is going to be about like advice, tips on like how to improve, how to do this, do that. But before we start, just wanted to say this is just our own opinions, how we feel and think after doing K-pop dance covers for like the past few years.
Yep.
Make sure to follow us on Instagram and subscribe to our channel. And let's
Get
begin.
started.
No.
No.
Let's start.
Alright, the first question says, from what age did you two start to learn dance?
So it's different for us. I started taking ballet classes in 1st grade of elementary school. So like when I was like 7. And then I did that for a while. And then in middle school, I suddenly got into K-pop, or like near high school-ish. When Girls' Generation came out with like G and Genie, so I started learning all their dances, and then I kind of just non-stop dancing, but I did switch from like ballet to K-pop. Yes, and tried other styles in between.
I started learning dancing when I was 5th grade, but it wasn't super serious. I did it for 2 years, like once a week, and it was because my walking posture was not the best.
Did it help?
I don't think so. But after that, I kind of lost interest and it wasn't like a passion for me until I hit around like the end of my freshman year of high school, so 9th grade, when I was, how old is that, 13? 13. So when I was 13, started to learn dance more, and then
we joined the same dance team.
Yeah, in high school we were in the same dance team. We did completely different styles.
Yeah, you did more of popping.
I did more popping.
I was more like jazz, street,
funk, hip-hop.
Together as a team, we had to do like contemporary dances, just a bunch of different styles that we weren't that familiar with. So that was a really fun experience.
Yeah, it was definitely a good growing experience for me because I got to do a lot of different styles in a short period of time.
Next question, have either of you majored in dance or are you self-taught? So neither of us majored in dance. I majored in psychology.
I majored in business administration.
Yeah, so dancing was always just a hobby. I did take some classes here and there, like I mentioned before, ballet classes when I was young, and then I did take some hip-hop classes, like once a week kind of thing, when I was in high school. But after that, I became completely self-taught. So all the K-pop dances that I learned, which was starting from 2009, those I just all learned by myself, and then now we just completely try to train ourselves and improve without having to like go outside.
Yeah. Well, for me, I'm completely self-taught, especially for like popping. I completely self-taught by watching like videos online and just practicing a lot by myself. Same with K-pop. I think we bounce ideas and like critique ourselves together, and that helps a lot because we can kind of, they got bored. So next question, how long does the whole process of filming, learning, etc. usually take?
It varies a lot depending on the cover. So like different factors would be if it's like solo cover or duo
cover, yes.
And then the length of the cover, sometimes the song is so long, sometimes we're only doing like a portion of it. And then girl group cover or guy group cover, because the difficulty kind of varies depending on the artist. And then there's also like how many outfits we're doing. That kind of that's also a factor. Usually the more outfits there are, the longer it'll take. As a reference, I would say for girl group covers, maybe like it takes like around 2 hours to learn it, and longer if it's like harder.
The whole song.
Yeah, and then for filming, this could range from 3 to 9 hours.
I think so.
On average, probably 6 to 7 hours.
Mm-hmm.
What about guy group covers?
Solo guy group covers take a long time because I'm very critical. I want to be like, in my mind, as good as the artists doing their dance.
But that's so hard because they have practiced for so long. They themselves are so good. Yes. That's why they're so long.
So I often have to repeat my takes a lot. So for example, for Jimin's Serendipity, I was so tired at the end that I fell purely because of my lack of energy.
It was in our dance cover funny moments video.
Yes. I practice not as hard, but I do it for a longer time. So that way the choreography can completely go into my body. But for the guy covers that Ellen and I both do, we usually learn it like one night and then we film it the next possible day. So sometimes it's like we learn it on Monday and then we have stuff come up, blah blah blah, and then we film it on Friday. But then sometimes we go like, let's learn it on Saturday and film it directly on Sunday night. So it varies like because of that. But the longer the guy choreo sits in your body, the better you will be at it. Learning the whole dance is like 3 to 5 hours.
Memorizing lyrics might take up another 1 or 2 hours, and then picking outfits usually is also 1 or 2 hours.
Yeah. So lots of effort put into each little thing.
After we film, Brian spends like another hour to like edit, export, upload, and all that. So in the end, it takes a really long time, but every process is really fun.
Yes. We really enjoy doing it.
How do you learn the dances so quickly and do it so amazingly?
Lots of practice.
I think the pickup speed, like how fast you pick up choreo, definitely comes with time and practice. Or some people might be born with it, but usually the more you do it, the better you are at it.
Before I used to do less dances, but focus on them for longer. And this was like back in like college and high school. And because of that, I didn't pick up stuff as much because I wasn't learning as many things. But ever since we started doing covers and then
started to learn a lot
that
frequently,
really sparked my learning speed. So I noticed that I learned so much faster after just learning more. So if you want to learn faster, we would suggest to learn more songs.
Yeah. And also sometimes it's like setting a goal. Like, oh, I want to learn this dance within like 1 hour, 2 hours. Kind of slightly push yourself. I think that sometimes might also help.
A little bit of pressure will help you improve faster. How many hours do you practice and what type of shoes do you prefer to wear while practicing? So we'll break it down into 2 parts. So the first question is how many hours do you practice, and that kind of varies for whatever goal we have. So if it's for performance versus a cover,
it's really
completely different.
Yeah, for performances it's more about like repetition. Like,
so we just have to make sure that it's like deeply ingrained in our body so we can completely focus on the performance. Yeah,
because once the adrenaline hits you, you don't want to like suddenly forget, or like if the audience is cheering, then you're like, huh? And then for our performances, we would train more to not just focus on the facial expressions, but also our energy. It can't drop throughout however many dances we're doing. So that's more like a daily thing. We would practice every night until the performance. But then for like covers, it's more like condensed in a short amount of time. I'll just practice a lot within a few hours and make sure I get the choreo.
I would say maybe we practice, let's say if the performance is on a weekend, then maybe we start on Monday and then do 1 to 2 hours every day to practice for the performance.
But that's only if we already know the dance. For covers, we probably practice for like 4 to 5 hours before we start filming. And then when you're filming, you're also practicing too, because you're just repeating the same movement, same cut over and over again. In terms of shoes, I think that depends on what floor you're dancing on. For us, our floor is really slippery.
Yeah, it's wood floor, so we dance with like running shoes for practicing.
But I actually find it easier to dance in the boot sometimes because it has more friction.
A little,
so whatever
works well with your floor, you should be dancing in.
Yes. Be careful. How do you guys manage to make your moves so clean and powerful? For cleanliness, I would say pay a lot of attention to the original dance. So we like to slow-mo the dance and then like play it frame by frame to see like their exact pathway. They went from this angle to that angle. So know exactly what it is, what it should look like, and then try to replicate that.
Yeah, film yourself and then compare. And that's like a really easy way to kind of see what you're not doing as clean as the person you're trying to cover. Try not to wait too long until you film yourself. Try not to drag out, oh, I need to look good before I film. Instead, you should film while you're learning and then see like, oh, this part I'm doing wrong, and so you can catch it early, and then that way you'll improve a lot faster too.
Also, another tip, practice with the slow-mo. So just slow the music down to like 75% or however many percent you want, and then slowly increase the speed over time. Because when it's fast, what I do is I tend to like
rush.
I would rush and I'll cut the pathway. Like if it's supposed to be go from here to here, I might have just done that. And then I probably won't even notice until I watch myself.
Right.
So really start with like having the slower speed, and then make sure you hit all the pathway, all the right angles, and then slowly build that up so that your body has the muscle memory, and when you do it fast, you'll maintain that cleanliness. And then for power,
it comes both with practice and training.
Yeah.
We don't really work out.
But I feel like we used to do more, like in college or high school, we used to do more like
physical
push-ups or like any physical type of training, like working out, that would help.
Like I think even my varsity swimming skills have helped my power in dancing. Yeah. So and like specific dance styles will also help. For example, popping has greatly helped a lot of my power in the covers too. Like a lot of like the stopping power or like the hitting power. And that's what's great about every individual person. So Ellen has like a lot of backgrounds in different kinds of dancing, and then so that comes together and makes it like her style. You know, let's say if like she does a cover or even freestyles, that's just her style. And then I have like swimming and like popping and all that kind of stuff goes into my style. And so if you see my freestyles, they're like flowy, but I hit a lot of stuff too. Each person has their own style, and that kind of comes from a background. So if you do like a lot of weightlifting, then maybe you're stronger than others. If you do a lot of ballet, then maybe you're more flowy. And so that's like different attributes that contribute into power.
Also, I think for dances that require a lot of power, if you start out with not as much power, you think you look a little weak, just keep on doing that dance too, because you know that dance is training the muscles that you need to be powerful. But one thing to keep in mind, sometimes people could be too powerful, and then you would lose the cleanliness. So it's important to be powerful but clean, and that comes with like a lot of practicing, a lot of watching yourself and improving over time.
How do you get the proper expressions when dancing to a song?
So what I would say would just be to follow the artist that you're covering. Look at what they're doing at what moment, because they probably said it already, or they know what they're doing. So if you're trying to copy them, just really look at their like, oh, are they moving their eyebrows? Is it their eyes? Is it like smirking or anything? Just pay a lot of attention to the details on their faces. I try to copy that.
If there's like a specific person that you really like their facial expressions, watch their stuff, and although awkward, you can look at yourself in the mirror and try to copy that. And it's gonna be awkward, but it will help. It's like practicing a move, but then the move is just on your face. So you can choreograph your facial expressions, and that will be like good practice into making it more natural. Another thing is the feeling of the song. So let's say the song is more upbeat and like powerful, then maybe you have like scrunching of the nose, like this kind of facial. But then like let's say that kind of facial would not work for a more slow song, and if you do that for a slow song, it would be a little bit weird and not fitting. So kind of judge via the style of the song, and then maybe you, if you're experienced enough or if you want to be adventurous, try to make your own facials to match the song. Yeah,
over time you'll start to develop your own style. Like I feel like we have that when we do live performances. We try to just like go with the flow, see what comes out naturally. But then for covers, we try to like really copy what the original artist is doing. Next question. Has dancing made you guys more flexible? If so, how flexible are you? I think I was a lot more flexible before because when you do like contemporary like ballet, you need to like be a lot more flexible. I think with K-pop dances, you don't need to be that flexible
unless there's
to
like
begin
a
with.
move.
Yeah, unless there's like a split move. Yeah. So I think it's pretty easy to do K-pop dances without being very flexible. However, it's like definitely like highly recommended because it's gonna help. Yeah, like it's gonna have some subtle differences. Like your range of movement is gonna be a lot bigger than someone who's not as flexible. So I definitely recommend stretching whenever possible.
Yeah, and then there's like different kinds of flexibility. So a lot of people think, oh, are you flexible means like, can you kick your foot to your face? And so like, it's not always
not just
like that. So
yeah.
for example, like your hand can have flexibility
Yeah.
too.
Your
and like
neck,
your like this
your
can have
arms.
flexibility too. And so like all of that kind of stuff goes into dancing. So if you're more flexible here
You'll be
and there,
cleaner.
it'll be better for you.
And that is also something that we're trying to be better at.
Yeah.
Gotta stretch more. And stretch more.
Often,
Push yourself. It's gonna hurt.
if it doesn't hurt, you're not really stretching it. So that's the mentality.
That goes into like the next question.
Mm.
What type of warm-up or stretches do you do before dancing? This stretch is more like a to prevent injuries kind of stretch. Not to like
Yeah, not to like,
Like-
become more flexible, but just to warm up your body.
Yeah,
So, like, nah.
my neck cracks a lot, so I need to make sure that like I'm fully stretching all possible angles for my neck,
Yeah.
like head,
Yeah.
and then like shoulders, arms, ankles, knees.
Like this
Touch your
frame
toes.
too, so like
Yeah,
lots
and
of like that kind of stretching.
all these weird angles.
And then like touch your toes, etc.
Yeah, it feels good. Like, see whatever area seems a little stiff and like stretch it out, and then you'll feel more open.
Yeah. Sometimes it feels like, oh, I'm a little bit warm, and then like I don't need to stretch. But if you do that, then you might run the possibility of like you doing a move and then you go like up, and then you feel that like strain, and then you're just like, oh crap, I should have stretched. And that happens to us too. So make sure you take that 5, 10, 15 minutes to stretch because it's beneficial. You don't want to strain something and then you're just like, oh well, now I can't really dance, or like now I can't do the move as well.
And know what dance you're gonna dance to. Look at those movements and stretch that. Like if there's a dance break where they do this certain move like on the floor, try to hit that angle beforehand. Just slowly go through all the possible motions.
It'll help a lot.
Yeah.
Do you get tired only after practicing the whole song? No. We
Not
get
that
tired.
we don't get tired, but we get tired like after every little
We
chorus.
really get tired.
It's like no matter how long the cut is or how long you're trying to dance to, you always put in all your energy into that however many seconds of dancing. So I always end up super tired after every little section that I do, and that's normal. That's something that we want to work on, like having better stamina so we can perform like multiple songs in a row.
If it's like a 3-minute, 4-minute long set, then maybe make sure that we have all the energy we can to do it.
Okay, moving on to some fun questions like our thoughts, opinions, preferences. So among all the dance covers that you guys did, which is the hardest one?
We get this question quite often.
A lot. Oh, I know your answer.
You can say my answer.
Is 10 New Hero. It's crazy. I don't think I can even do it. I never learned it, but just watching him go through it, I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
It took a lot of time for you to practice and everything, huh?
I had to like try to work my way up to 100% speed, and it was hard. Yeah.
For me, I would say maybe Lisa, I Like It. It's not a traditional cover because she's also not dancing to her own song, but it was like this performance that she did, or this video that she did. When she's not singing, just dancing, that's when you know the dance is like harder than usual. That one took me a while to like get used to it, and then it was just really tiring. I could only film it like 5 times like in a row, and then I was like, I'm gonna stop because
Rest for like 10 minutes.
I had no more energy. Sometimes you push yourself really hard and you think you can keep on doing it and getting better every time, but at one point you're gonna reach a point where your body's just gonna be like, no, you're too tired.
Done.
You're done for today. And that's when you're like, okay, let me just do the one last time, and I know after that it's only gonna go downhill because you reach that maximum energy. Yeah, it happens to a lot of our covers. We keep on doing it, we're like, okay, next time let's do it again, we're gonna get cleaner and cleaner, but at one point we're gonna be like, nope.
Yeah, you just have to rest for longer and just make let your body recover.
Yeah, resting in between.
What is your favorite cover together and individual cover?
We also get this question a lot, and I feel like my answer always changes because we keep on doing newer and newer covers.
Yeah, and we usually like the newer ones versus the older ones, just because it's more recent, and then we always like keep improving ourselves.
In different.
And so like when we go see our older covers, sometimes we're just like, ooh.
I would say my favorite couple cover
right now
is NCT 127 Superhuman. Because we spent a lot of time learning that one. We were really busy, so we couldn't film it for like a whole month. And then when we really got to film it, it felt really nice because NCT is our favorite group. We watched them do it in person. We picked out like 5 really nice outfits. Like everything just kind of like led to a good cover filming experience.
We just bought a new camera, this camera. I also spent a lot of time editing it. That one has one of my favorite edits.
Transitions?
Transitions, yes. So yeah, that's one of our favorite covers, couple covers.
What would you say? Would you also say Superhuman or something else?
I like that one.
I have another one.
I like Boy With Love.
Oh.
I like
Dionysus. Wait, how are you supposed to say the word?
Dionysus.
That one is like a not traditional cover that we did because we used up all of our furniture for that one cover. We took the carpet, put it over our table.
Oh my god, yes, this table.
To mimic their like gray table kind of thing.
Right.
We stood on the tables. It was really fun. That one was...
Yeah, we even like moved the lights too.
Yeah, we used multiple tables because some we need to like sit on
it's like shorter or like higher.
Some we need to stand on it so it can't be too tall or else we'd hit the ceiling.
Yeah.
That was when like we got really creative and it was just really fun.
It was a fun cover.
Yeah, that one was really nice.
Okay, individual cover. I'll go.
Okay.
I like my Jimin Serendipity cover. That was a fun cover even though I fell to the floor.
Usually the covers where you put in more effort and it takes longer, those would be your more favorite.
That one I filmed till like what?
I don't know. I went to bed and I woke up in the morning at 8 a.m. He was still awake. I was like, oh no. Yeah, for me, I'm gonna say Blackpink Kill This Love. Because I really like all of my outfits in that cover. I somehow just had like outfits that matched what they had in the music video. But although I did take a little bit too long so that the sun came out in the morning for one of my cuts, it's pretty obvious.
Yeah, and then I was like...
He had to edit them. He's like, the lighting changed. Sorry, I couldn't help.
Would you say that your favorite individual cover of mine is that same one and vice versa?
I would say so. Yes, Serendipity. What would you say mine?
I agree.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I'd be Kill This Love?
Yeah.
Okay, what's your favorite dance style? This has recently changed for me.
Really?
Because in the past, I would always say something that's like Girl Crush. I think that has always been my favorite dance style. That's like something, if I were to choreograph something or freestyle, it would look like that. That was Girl Crush. However, recently, after doing a couple guy covers, I think I'm enjoying guy covers more now. It fluctuates a lot. I don't have one specific style that I really like. Just because different styles bring out different parts of me, you know?
Yeah.
So like sometimes like when you do Girl Crush, you like that style, but then like when you're doing some other group, it's like cuter or like sexier or like, and I enjoy doing all those. So I can't just really say which one is my favorite. I like being able to like switch around, and I think it's like really fun to do all of them.
I think for me it's also interesting because before I would say like Blood, Sweat and Tears, like sexy, like very slow, but like Taemin move kind of style. But then like recently I feel even when doing like girl group covers, I feel really happy when I get to be able to do that kind of style. And like a lot of the time I'll look at a guy cover and then I'll be like, oh, this has like a lot of isolations or like popping stuff, and I'm really happy. But then sometimes I don't feel like that's my favorite style. Just because of like random reasons, like maybe the song or like I feel like I'm doing like more isolation, and then sometimes I don't like doing too much of it. So it changes a lot.
It changes, yeah, depending on like what songs are coming out and what the whole
vibe of the year is.
Yeah.
Would you guys ever consider traveling to other countries to teach or like take part in international dance workshops?
I would love to. We're actually going to China very soon to teach like middle school students and high school students K-pop, so I'm really excited for that because it's just really nice seeing these students
Showing
enjoying
interest
K-pop.
and like wanting to dance or learn how to dance because of K-pop. And
Yeah,
it's
because
very
that's what
cool.
happened to me when I was like in middle school. I was inspired by these K-pop idols and then found my passion and then continue with this. So like, I really enjoy seeing like younger people also following that similar path and just enjoying K-pop dances in general. So we would love to like travel the world and share our love for K-pop and dance.
Yeah. So invite us.
Yes.
What's the best part about dancing?
Couple things. So first of all, great exercise. This is our only form of like exercising because we eat a lot and we want to like burn off what we eat. Dancing is perfect. And obviously
Stress relieving.
especially like coming back home from work, like dancing to your favorite songs is like so fun. It's just, it makes you forget about everything else in your life and just focus on this one thing together. And then it's also a really good like social thing, like especially if you have a group of friends who you want to like dance with. That's also super fun. And then lastly, because dancing is like what we enjoy doing the most, so it's the best couple times. Like that's how we met, that's how we spend time with each other, that's what we talk about all day. So like dance being like the number one thing that we are really interested in helps bring us together. So I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
Like sharing the same hobby.
Last question for this section. What dance was very memorable to you?
Oh, I know which one. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Tell me.
I was gonna say Chungha Gotta Go. Just because we danced with her and I feel like it's like one of the best things that happened to us ever.
Oh, yeah.
And it was like a very wonderful experience. So like
every
very
time,
memorable.
like
to
let's
me.
say we're just in the car and then we're like
and then the song
comes up. And we're just like,
it just brings us back to that time when we were filming with
like
her. in
every
Korea.
single moment of that Korea trip, which we vlog,
Like,
was
very
so
memorable.
It wasn't even like a long trip. It was so short.
Yeah, it was one of the
Remember.
most memorable things ever.
Forever. Yeah. I would say that one too, for sure. And I learned Chungha Gotta Go for that too.
Oh yeah, he learned it like the day before.
Yeah, I wasn't in
Because
her
I covered it by myself.
Yeah, and then so I had to learn a bunch of the parts that I
like the
never
chorus
learned. Not
and
even just the chorus, because like the chorus, like I watched her so many times and then I can like, you know.
Like
but
the part that we did together,
yeah, like
the dance,
like
not the ending part.
Yeah, and then I had to like modify some choreo too.
Yeah, because he can't do like the Chungha version. He's combined the backup dancer version with Chungha's version. So we made a duet version. So anyways, yes, that song is special. Moving on to the last section of our dance Q&A. And this part is going to be more about like advice and tips on specific things. What tip would you give someone who's trying to learn K-pop dances to lose weight?
That's what we do.
I'm not losing weight.
Oh.
I would say definitely just choose something that's like really cardio heavy. Like I think guy dances are usually really tiring. Oh, I know which dance. Stray Kids Miro. That chorus is very tiring, gets you jumping and jumping. I think that's perfect for losing weight.
Oh, it so is.
Yeah, just basically choose songs that are very high energy.
Yeah, BTS Not Today is also like one of those kind of songs.
Yeah.
Very like do kind of songs.
Just very heavy.
You can do those and then you'll lose weight faster.
Even some girl group dances that are like not too intense, if you just do it over and over again.
ITZY
ITZY is intense though. But like let's say like something more like slow. Just dance for a long time every day. It will help.
Yeah, and then like when we film, we're actually doing fast-paced cardio and then we're resting, and then fast-paced cardio and we're resting. So that's kind of like a fitness,
like a repetition, like a set.
Yeah, it's like a very good way to lose a lot of weight. How would you motivate people who want to learn dancing?
I would say it definitely takes time, but never like lose faith in yourself. Every little step counts. So even if you're just like watching videos, I always tell myself when I'm like just eating and watching them dance, I'm like, this is gonna help me. Like I'm learning something. Like, even just little things, it's gonna help you learn. So never just give up.
I read somewhere that if you are dancing in your brain, like just not even moving at all, it helps because it's triggering that part in your brain that's like while you're dancing. And so when you're doing that, it actually helps you get better even when you're not even moving a single muscle. So I try to think about that a lot too, and it shows in my improvement because sometimes like in college I didn't dance that much, but I watched a lot. And then just from watching and like actively thinking about how to improve and then like seeing the really good dancers, it actually made me improve too. Going back to the question though,
just know that the more you practice, the better you'll get. And it does take time, but make sure to just enjoy the process and don't focus on the outcome too much. Don't be like, oh, I'm not getting this dance right, I look awkward. Like
it's more about the process.
The process,
because
like,
if you want to learn dancing, your base motivation should be that you want
like
to
dancing.
dance and you love dancing and like the concept of dance. That kind of mentality will help you go forever. If you have like a different kind of motive, sure, it's fine too, but I feel like love for dance as a base motive will carry you the furthest. So love dancing.
Good luck. Do you have any tips for people who want to try to record their dance and upload it on social media? When it comes to like social media, I would say just like I said before, like don't focus on the outcome. Don't focus on like how the video is gonna do on YouTube or Instagram, like the views and likes. Like don't focus on that, but mainly have goals for yourself, such as, oh, I want to improve on my execution for this dance. I want to improve on my facial expression. Like know what your own goals are and work towards those goals. And then as you progress, you'll see, oh, I see my improvement in this and that, and then that's gonna make you happy.
Another thing is like if you are looking at your older covers and then you're being like, ooh, that's a good thing because that means you improved. That's something happy to look on. Like a lot of people I know make like a dance cover account and then it's not for the views or anything, it's like their journal. And then so like they post this and then a year later they can go back to their first post and then they'd be like, oh, I improved so much. And that's like something nice about social media because then you have an account
like a record.
and you can see everything, you know?
Yeah,
so don't focus on numbers, don't focus
like
on
any
that.
negativity, bad comments and stuff might always be there. Like something that just like you can't avoid because people will just naturally like compare you versus like, I don't know. And like a lot of times like I get for like just one dance cover, I'll get people who's saying, oh, she looks like she's lacking power, she's tired, she's sick. And then there's also people under the same cover saying she's too powerful or she's like trying too hard. Like, see, people have different preferences, opinions on when they see the same exact cover. So you can't do anything about what they're thinking, just know what you want to achieve. Like, oh, for this dance, I want it to be more powerful or I want it to look a little more elegant. Like, know what you want and then
you can't please
work towards that.
Everyone.
Yeah, for sure.
So
try
the
to
best
ignore
person
them.
to please is yourself. So this next question I like a lot actually. Any advice to give someone who is starting dance to feel more comfortable and not feel nervous when performing? I think this comes with both your own personality and experience.
Yeah, and just to be able to feel more comfortable and natural, I think one part is definitely just practice and practice and practice so your body will naturally feel comfortable.
And your mentality.
And then mentality. Oh, I was gonna say the same thing. Don't lose to your own mentality before you even start it. Don't think, I'm gonna look awkward, like, oh, this isn't right. Tell yourself you can do it as long as you put in the work.
Yeah.
So the mentality really helps.
If you feel really nervous and have those kind of thoughts, then fake it till you make it. As long as you channel confidence, then people will like it. Because if you feel like you're awkward, then people will feel like you're awkward. If you feel like you're confident, even if you're just like putting on an act that you're confident, people will see that. A
lot of times we see people performing, maybe they're not as good like technique wise, but then their facial expressions are so good, they're so confident that they make you forget about the actual moves. They just kind of like bring you into their own
world.
Your facial expressions, your performance, the confidence can take over.
Building on that, doing a choreography is not just about, oh, I hit this move and then I hit that move and the next move that comes up is slow, so I need to do this slow. Every person does it differently, and what ultimately matters is yourself, because you are performing, not the choreography is performing. So when you do the choreo, try to bring out more of yourself too, and that will make you more confident because you're being true to yourself. Worry less about the choreography and more about you as a performer performing in front of these people, either for your own pleasure or maybe you want to please others when you're performing. I always get nervous before performing, but it's not the kind of nervousness where I don't want to go on the stage. It's
kind of excited.
Yeah, it's like an excited nervousness where once I step onto the stage, I actually morph that nervous energy and then push it straight into like adrenaline, performance,
energy,
excitement, energy, all that kind of stuff. All that nervous energy that I built up completely goes into that. And so like sometimes I like to get more nervous because then I can push more energy.
That's why it's more fun to perform, because you get nervous and then you overcome your fears and then you overcome everything. So like it's like a roller coaster, you know, when you're like going up, you get nervous, but then you go down and it feels so good. Versus like if it was just straight and had no emotions, you didn't feel for anything, then that's, you know, not as fun. So that's what makes it, that's part of it. Like being nervous is good. Just know how to take it the right way. How do you actually manage your time between sleeping, your day job, and dancing? Time management. It's really important because with dancing, it's not just like you set aside 5 hours to dance. You kind of need to account for the time that comes after that too, because you need to rest. This is something that like I feel like in the past we didn't really take care of our bodies as much, but now we really try to like plan every day out. And let's say we're filming a cover today, we're gonna plan a rest day the next day. Like know what you want every day, know your schedule, know how you feel, and only do things when you're like really ready to do it.
It's completely based off of your ideals. Yeah, so like if you want to sleep in, then do it. If you feel like you're satisfying yourself. So like don't sleep in if you feel guilty, then maybe you should get up, because then you won't feel guilty and then you'll feel more productive at the end of the day. You'll be like, yes, I didn't sleep in, I spent the time wisely. Versus like, let's say we filmed the cover right before it and then we sleep in, we feel completely fine because we want to sleep in, because then we feel better after our hard work. You know? So.
A lot of times like we plan every day pretty like organized, like this day we're gonna do this, that. Yeah, we plan our whole like 2 weeks, the next 2 weeks. But a lot of times that schedule is gonna change because let's say we do a cover on Tuesday and we got so tired that like
you can't even film on a Thursday.
We couldn't continue what we wanted to do. We couldn't learn that dance on the next day. So we moved it around, and I think that's appropriate because we're like listening to what our bodies are telling us. But then sometimes we do need to like be a little bit strict on ourselves. Like, okay, today we're actually gonna do this because we can't
push it through. Yeah,
like don't be lazy today. Let's just do it. It totally depends on your own goals, how you're feeling, just everything together. We're still learning how to manage it better too. Recently, we've been trying to rest more because we want to focus on our health more. Know what you want and then go for it.
And that concludes our dance Q&A.
Woo! Thank you guys for watching. We had so much fun talking about this kind of stuff. I feel like we talk about it on our own, but we've never like shared it with everyone. So hopefully it was helpful or interesting to watch.
Thanks for watching and hope you keep on dancing.
If you
keep on striving to improve. Be yourself. Ultimately, it's all about who you believe you want to be, and just try to strive for that.
Yay! Goodbye!
Bye!
See you next time! 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, 8. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 5, 6, and 7, 8.